Hey everyone, this is Christina, and I'm back with a 4-day post-op update. I wanted to come to you and talk a little bit about my surgery experience while it's still kind of fresh in my mind. So, or I guess maybe I should start with my stats first, if that matters at this point. So, when I went in for surgery this past Wednesday, my surgery weight was 372.6. Yes, 372.6. And this morning I stepped on the scale because, I just always hear people talking about, having gained 8 to 10 pounds just from gas pains and fluids and everything. And I was just curious. And so I stepped on the scale this morning and it said 362.4, I want to say, which makes absolutely zero sense to me. I was like 10 pounds in 4 days is kind of crazy when you're only eating uh, protein shakes, broth, and Crystal Light, basically. Um, so yeah, that was like a total surprise. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm not really placing any stock in it because it's absolutely water weight, and I'm pretty sure like in the coming weeks, once my body kind of catches up with the changes that are going on and things start to stabilize a little more, then I feel like maybe those gains or losses will become a little bit more stable and not so kind of like crazy. Um, so yeah. Now, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so surgery experience. Okay, so I had my surgery this past Wednesday, November 9th, at Northwestern Memorial Hospital here in Chicago, Illinois, with Dr. Jeffrey Franza. And originally, my call time for the hospital was at 9:30 a.m. So assuming my surgery was probably going to be around 11. And so I got there, a little before 9:30. I signed in, did all the paperwork, et cetera, et cetera. And so they took me back to the, like pre-op room where, you take off all your clothes, you get in the gown. Some of the surgical team comes to talk to you, like the anesthesiologist, stuff like that. And so I was sitting in the room, like waiting for, my time to come up for me to be called. And then the lady came in and she was just like, hey, so listen, um, we're running a bit behind. So it'll be about an hour and a half wait. And I was like, okay, all right, I can do that. And so it got to be around like 12:30, 12:45, and she came back again. She was like, okay, so it'll be about another hour and a half wait. And I was like, excuse me, lady, I have been fasting since midnight. I have not eaten or had anything to drink. Like, my body is literally about to stage an intervention and just shut it down. Like, I was starting to get a headache. I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to make it another 90 minutes, honestly, because my body is just kind of fed up. And so they were just like, well, just try to relax, like watch some TV. And I mean, I don't know if it's like this in all hospitals, but there is not a lot of good channels available. And it was it just wasn't good. It was obviously it was the day after the election, so a lot of the channels and a lot of the programming was based around the election and election results and stuff like that. And I really had no interest in it, so I was just trying to find, something kind of like, mindless and monotonous to watch or just have on in the background to kind of like help pass the time. And so I was hoping maybe they had like HGTV or like the Food Network or like anything that would help, and they had nothing. And so I ended up just watching A&E the whole time. I was watching the Wahlburgers reality show. And like I literally watched A&E the entire 2 days that I was in the hospital. I never turned the channel because there was nothing else on. Yeah, but anyway, so after I finally got taken back to the OR. It was about, I want to say it was about 3:30. And so I remember being wheeled in, and I was joking around with some of the surgical team about something. I don't really remember what, but I remember looking up and kind of like seeing the big lights, overhead or whatever. And that's about it. That's about as far as I remember. Um, I was knocked out, and then when I woke up, I was just looking around, and I didn't realize that I wasn't in my actual hospital room. I was in the like recovery room, and I was just looking around, and I didn't see anybody. Like I didn't see my friends or anything. So I was just like, excuse me, people, where are my friends? Like, why am I lonely here? I don't like this. And so, the lady, like one of the nurses, she was just like, just relax, just relax. And I was like, no, no, I am relaxed. But also, I would like to know where all my people are. And so I just laid back down, like closed my eyes. And then when I woke up, I was actually back in my actual hospital room. And so the first, the first couple hours post op they were kind of weird because I mean, you don't really know your own pain tolerance. Well, I guess I don't really know my own pain tolerance because, I mean, I have tattoos and everything, but um, that's not really a good indicator. I've never really had like a major injury or broken bone or anything like that. So I can say that I think I have a high pain tolerance, but who knows? So I was kind of like preparing for the worst post surgery. But then when I woke up and I was wheeled back to my room and kind of like woke up or whatever, I literally had zero pain. Like zero pain. And I felt just as I did before I even went into surgery. Like there was a few some of the incisions like right at the bus line were sore a little bit, but they kept coming in and asking, what's your pain tolerance on a scale of 1 to 10? And I was always like 1, maybe 2. And so they were like, well, let us know if it gets any worse, and we'll put some pain medicine in your IV. And I was like, all right. But it like actually never got worse, which is so surprising. Like I bought some of the Gastric strips, and I bought the Biotine dry mouth spray just because researching and reading about other people's experiences, those are things that seem to come in handy for a lot of other people. And I never opened either one of them. It was kind of weird. And don't get me wrong, my mouth was dry, but the the little swab that they gave was enough for me. So yeah, that was actually super duper surprising. Like, I had no gas pains or nausea or anything like that. And I was just like, did I even get surgery? Are y'all like pulling the okie doke? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, in all my like research, I've never heard of anyone come out and say that they didn't really have any gas pains. So that's the part that was like super duper surprising for me. Um, but yeah, so once I got back to my room, I mean, that was it. They just had people, literally like a revolving door of people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. It seemed like every hour, maybe 45 minutes, just like taking your vitals, checking your pain level and stuff like that. And I was just getting agitated because I just kind of wanted to be left alone instead of being like, poked and prodded. And there was a couple of nurses who like they were trying to draw blood and they couldn't find the vein. And in all of literally all of my life, I've never had an issue with people not being able to like find the vein. So the fact that two different, no, it was actually three different nurses came in trying to draw blood. I was like, if y'all don't get it together, please. Like, this is getting out of hand. But the good thing is they only tried twice, and then they were just like, okay, we'll be back later. Instead of kind of like pushing, like pinning me like 6 different times trying to find it. Um, so yeah, that was fine. I do have high blood pressure, so immediately after surgery, my blood pressure spiked, and so that was part of it. Like people kept coming in and taking my blood pressure, monitoring it, and giving me different medicines to see if they could kind of like stabilize it and bring it back down. Um, so yeah, And then they were like, okay, we need you to, like get up and walk. And I was like, cool, let's do it. And so I like did my couple laps and I came back in. And like I was just walking like regular, like I had no issues. And I was just kind of anxious to like get my laps done because I don't really like the hospital and like it's kind of weird and freaks me out a little bit. So I don't really like hanging out in the halls. Like I just prefer to be in my own space, my own comfort of my room. Um, so I did that every now and then. I got them to take that damn catheter out. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I always feel like I have to pee, and this is just wildly uncomfortable. And so they took it out. I don't know if it was Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. It might have been Thursday morning. I got them to take it out. And so ever since then, I have been just like going back and forth to the bathroom, back and forth to the bathroom without a problem. Um, and that was kind of, annoying. You have to like drag the IV tree with you and plug it in and plug. It was so much. No, I did not like that. Um, but then like after a while, I just kind of got bored because it's literally nothing to do in the hospital. I mean, obviously, it's not a place of like leisurely fun, but at the same time, it's like I felt like time passed so slow, so slow. And so I was just like sitting there and I would just kind of like alternate where I was sitting. Like I would either be in the bed or I would sit in like the chair, like the little recliner thing that they have next to the bed. And they also had like a window seat. And I would like sit there. But literally after the first night, I did not want to be there for a second night. I was just like, there's absolutely nothing for me to do. I'm just sitting here watching Annie for 24 hours a day. And this is just so unappealing to me right now. And so Thursday afternoon, early afternoon, they came and took me down to do the X-ray barium test. So they could do, and see if there was any leaks or anything like that. And so I went down there, did that. Everything looked fine. And they brought me back up. And I was like, so, like trying to hint or like drop subtle hints like, hey, do you guys think that I would possibly be able to leave tonight? And they were just like, oh, it's a little late. We usually don't, you know, discharge patients this late. So it'll probably be in the morning, like right after breakfast. And I was like, oh my God, that's another 12 hours. Okay, all right. So I was just trying to psych myself up to like survive this next 12 hours, but I'm like I cannot overstate how brutal it was for me. It was torture. And it's like I guess I'm just so used to like being up and like doing stuff, so the fact that you have to like you're confined to this one little room for 2 nights and 2 days or 3 days or whatever, and you just can't leave, not because you're not physically able to leave, but just because like that's just part of the plan of you being there. So that was a lot. That was a lot to deal with. Um, but they brought me the bariatric breakfast on Friday, broth, water, some like Crystal Light packets, and the jello. Like, I don't understand the point of the jello, to be honest. Like, is it supposed to be a treat? Is it supposed to be like, and then it's the orange jello. Who eats orange jello? Nobody asked for orange jello. Like, were they out of the red? Is it some like, is orange healthier? Like, I'm just like, first of all, get this shit off my tray. Stop bringing it in here because I'm not going to eat it. It's gross. But I would like drink the water, drink the broth. Wasn't having any trouble getting down the liquids or what have you. Um, but yeah, so Friday after they gave me the breakfast and I was asking, do they think I would be able to be discharged fairly soon? A guy from the surgical team came in and he removed my drain. And I was like, is it imperative that I pass gas before I leave here? Or like, will that be a holdup? And he was just like, no, you're fine. We're getting you out of here today. I was like, thank you. People understand my pain. Thank you. And so a little after that, they gave me No, I mean the whole surgical team came back in and they gave me my discharge papers and post-op instructions and stuff like that. And my surgeon was like, "I hear that you want to get out of here," and I was like, "Yes, yes, yes, I do." He was like, "All right, so we're getting you out of here," and they gave me my post-op instructions, like I said, the vitamins, stuff like that. Um, and so yeah, after that, it was just kind of I was just ready to go. Oh, and he told me because they took out my drain in the hospital that I didn't have to come in for a one week post op checkup, that I can come in the week, not this coming week, but the week after for my checkup. So I'm going to schedule that tomorrow. And I put on my robe and I put my slides on so fast. I like grabbed my pillow. I had my friend, I was like, grab everything that we brought and let's be out. And so we went downstairs, called an Uber, and 30 minutes later, I was here in my damn house and I was like, bless. I've never been so excited to be back home. And so, I mean, post op since I've been here has been fine. I have my muscle milk. Um, I have actual broth that I was supposed to drink earlier, um, but I forgot that it was here, and so it's cold now. I have my water that I put Crystal Light in or whatever, and that's just been life. I'm sitting here, laid on the couch. I'm like watching Hulu, catching up on all the shows that I missed while I was stuck in purgatory. Um, and yeah, so that's literally been my life thus far. Tomorrow I'm going to go join Planet Fitness because I joined this other gym that's down in the loop when I worked down there, but I don't work down there anymore. So it's kind of out of the way, a great deal. So I'm going to stop that membership. Thankfully, it was month to month. So I can stop that membership and then I'm going to do a Planet Fitness because there's two up here. One's 24 hours and one is mainly 24 hours except for a couple days. And yeah, that's basically it. That's what I've been doing thus far. It's kind of uneventful. Oh, but wait, Saturday morning, I did end up finally having a bowel movement. Of course, it's all like liquidy because we're on a liquid diet, but listen, as soon as, I felt that, I was like, good. All systems are running. We're up and at 'em. Everything is kind of functioning the way it was, it functioned before. And that's all I care about. Um, Hopefully, I won't run into any bowel issues or constipation issues, as the weeks go on and I start incorporating the pureed and soft foods and eventually solid foods, because that's something I don't want to deal with, honestly. So I'm hoping that everything goes smooth with that. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated. But for the first 4 days post op, it's gone way better than I thought it would have. Like, I literally thought I'd be like bedridden and sleeping 20 hours out of the day. But I've just been living my regular life. Like, tomorrow, I will be up and working and walking and, doing what I usually do. So it's kind of good that it hasn't really thrown a wrench into, you know, my lifestyle thus far. So yeah, I will probably not update again this week just because I don't foresee anything eventful actually happening this week. But I for sure will update after I have my first post-op checkup with my surgeon. So yeah, that's it. Bye.